Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I'm excited to share with you another watch review. And this is by a company that up until a week ago, I never even heard about. And I'm surprised because they make a really exceptional product and a very unique product. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel, I review watches from all different kinds of manufacturers. Whoever I can get a sample from to share with you guys, whoever I can connect with and come up with a collaboration program, I reach out to. And there's been lots of companies who've been very generous in sending me watches to share with you guys. And one thing I like to do is come up with my initial unboxing, tell you guys what I think about it, my initial thoughts, and tell you guys, after I wear it for a while, I'll come back, re-review it, just kind of tell you guys, how much do I like the product, how's it holding up, that kind of stuff. And I gotta tell you, I'm just surprised that there are so many watch companies out there that you could do all kinds of research trying to find these companies and never find them. And I don't remember exactly how I stumbled upon this, because I'll go through Google and I'll search for different keywords that are related to watches, dive watch or large watch, and I forget exactly what I searched for to find this. But it's unfortunate that a lot of the companies that I've stumbled onto, I may have stumbled onto through chat room or through through group pages on Facebook, through websites, and this company, it's unfortunate that a lot of times, when you look for Google, all the mainstream ones come up. It's hard to find those micro brands, and I'm gotta tell you, I'm excited that I got to know and got to contact this company, because they really are making a pretty awesome watch. And the company is called Rockwell. I know, who the hell is Rockwell? I mean, fuck, I don't know how new or old they are, but awesome. I mean, I gotta tell you. So I went on their website, and first off, when I go to a website and I find a company, I'll send them my spiel, my email, and say, hey, this is what I do. Would you like to feature your product on my channel? I think it would do well. And, it's beneficial for companies to send me a product to share with you guys, because I don't just review it once. I come back, I re-review, I try to market that product under different keywords, because a company's nice enough to send me this product, and I want to do, my duty, and trying to share with you guys and trying to improve their sales and getting these brands discovered. Because let's face it, some of these brands you'll never find in a lot of your big box stores. You're not really gonna find, like, even if you search on some of the websites, Amazon, eBay, some of the stuff just doesn't show up. And I don't know how I stumbled upon them, but I'm really glad I did. And the company Rockwell, they have kind of several categories of products. They make men's watches and women's watches, and they have t-shirts, hats, sunglasses, some socks, and looks like some supplements. And Rockwell, what I can get from looking at their website and kind of making my own determination is that they kind of specialize in, I guess their products are marketed towards people who are into more of those extreme sports. Stuff you find like on Red Bull. You have like your motocross, your BMX, MMA fighting, wakeboarding, freestyle biking. They have some military guys on there as well. And there's a section there called lifestyle. And I definitely encourage you to check it out. I'll show you what they consider some of their friends. I hope they consider me a friend and put my picture on there. That'd be pretty cool. For you guys, if somebody stumbles on their site, there's not a lot of reviews on their watches, and I intend to putting a lot of information out there for the brand. And I'll be honest with you, when I come to a company or come to a website, I'll look at what they have and I'll say, okay, well, it's probably not going to, excite me like an Invicta or Aragon right off the bat, but it's something I'll wear, I'll enjoy, I'll be able to share it with you guys, and there's always a time and a place for a different watch. I've always said I wouldn't always wear my big Invicta to a job interview, or that's something more formal. I may wear something a little more downplayed. So the great thing about watches, you could have tons in your collection, and there's always a time and a place to wear them. And so when I looked into their watches, I checked out their section, all men's watches, and I just started looking at what they had. And what was kind of surprised me is that they kind of carried on with that larger watch theme, kind of like Invicta does. So first off, I was intrigued by that. But then, I look at watches like Diesel, and not to bash Diesel in any way, but when you compare and Nixon, I don't have a Nixon watch, but I've held a Nixon watch, and you can see them in the big box stores. And generally, some of the markup on those watches tend to be, like the Diesel watches. When you pick them up, you can just kind of feel there is a difference in quality between the way it feels compared to an Invicta or an Aragon. So when I was skeptical when I reached out to them, I said, okay, well, they're going to be more of a, I guess, like a, I don't know, what I consider and you're gonna have different opinions, more of like a fashion watch, and not saying Invicta is not a fashion watch, but I just wasn't sure what I was gonna get. So I reached out to them, and they were nice enough. Kate over there at Rockwell was nice enough to send me 2 sample watches. And what I really liked about what they did is that they actually took the time to not only look at my channel, but pick out a couple different watches. They could have said, let's send them, our most basic one, or our most inexpensive one. But they actually took the time to think about what might do well with the channel. And what they picked out is pretty much exactly what I would have picked out. They picked some of their big over-the-top watches, and I'm so excited to share with you guys one of their watches right now. They sent me 2, so I'm going to do 2 different videos, and then, we'll come back and re-review at a later date. But the first one I want to share with you is called the Deul Time. And when I say Deul Time, it's D-U-E-L, kind of like a gun duel, right? And so in this particular line, they have 8 different executions of this watch, combinations of stainless steel, ceramic, kind of a couple different crazy faces, and then you're all black. Pretty typical styles when you compare them to a lot of companies out there. And they were what they picked out for me, the watch I would have picked out for myself, and that was their 2-tone silver, white, and black watch. And this is the watch right here, and this is an awesome watch, guys. So here's what it looks like. And I love watches with contrast. I like my silver watches, and I'm actually wearing the other one they sent me too, but we're not going to talk about that one today. But this is it right here, the Deul Time. And before I show you some more close-ups and then show you what it looks like on the wrist, because you guys know it's something I pride myself on, showing you guys what the watch actually looks like on a guy my size, my weight, because you can't always tell when, and I get a few comments, some guys are like, oh, you should get the video in front of you and show you the watch. There's tons of guys who review watches like that. I don't do it like that. I want to tell you guys what I think. I want you guys to see my passion, see my opinion of the watch face to face, and show you guys what it looks like on a guy my size, my wrist, And I think that's what really gives people the fever to want to get this stuff, because they see what it looks like, they can picture it on themselves, and they buy it. And so this watch is awesome. Now, first impression, when I pulled it out of the packaging, okay, this is the box it comes in. Now, you guys know I'm not always big on spending time with the box, but I gotta tell you, I am very impressed with the box in this one here. They really took the time to make something different. It's different than any watch box I have. And guys, I have boxes from watches. I have over 150 watches in my collection now. And that's a lot of boxes. And I gotta tell you, I've been impressed with some. And other ones I'm like, yep, it's a box. And it goes in the closet. Now, you guys know I always keep my stuff on lock and key. And I don't store them in the boxes. But it is still nice to get a company who takes the time to give you a nice presentation, because not everybody has 150 watches. So, all right, so here it is right here. They have this kind of a silver Rockwell logo right across the top of the box and the front of the box. And I love the design. It's like a faux leather. It's got some stitching on the top, around the back and sides, and it's a clamshell box. You open it up, but I love that they made this drop point on the box. It just really it's a very simple addition, but it makes it different than just your square box, okay? And they've angled the inside of the watch with this faux leather. You have your pillow right here, your Rockwell logo on the back, and I like the fact they angled it down, and when you look at it, you actually can see the band. That's probably why they did this cutout, so you can just see more of the watch. Instead of looking at it like this, if you have it on your dresser or whatever, you can actually see the watch, looking straight at it. So pretty cool. And I do just want to show you what it looks like in the box. And I don't normally do this, but I am impressed with their presentation. And it's not often that I am. So there it is right there. So, all right. So enough about the box. Let's talk about the watch. Now, Rockwell, right? Let's talk about what you get with a Rockwell watch. Now, these ones range in price from $400 to $480, depending on which watch you get. The black one is going to be your most expensive. It's their Phantom Black version. That one's going to run you $480. You have your silver watch, which is your most inexpensive at $400. Several of these are sold out, and I can see why. They are a pretty awesome watch. So let's just talk about this one here. I'm going to read you right off their description. One of Rockwell's most iconic and popular watches, the Deul Time, exhibits strength and style in a way that is second to none. A gorgeous 46mm case on the width, of course, and then the band. And this is what I like about this company. Extra fat 32mm band makes every wrist that sports this watch pack a serious punch. Each Deul Time watch also features a precise quartz twist movement encased in a rectangular stainless steel frame. Every Deul time also features a continuum bracelet, which means a sleek continuity around the curvature of your wrist with a door frame butterfly closure. That's about all they say on that. Specs on the watch here. You are looking at the case size of 42 millimeter, band width 32 millimeters, butterfly closure. I'll show you that in a second. 316L surgical grade stainless steel and ceramic on select models. I do believe that's a ceramic coating, and I need clarification on that because this one here, I don't know if this one here, I think this, to me, when I look at this watch, it actually looks more like a coating or a plating, but maybe this isn't one of their ceramic ones here. Okay, no, it's not. I'm sorry. They do have a ceramic one here that is sold out, and one that's still available too. So, okay, so if you want to go ahead and get the silver, black, and ceramic, which is similar to this, but with a black face and black bezel, you'll get that with silver and ceramic links. Or they have kind of this awesome, not sure what you call it, like this checkered pattern face. I encourage you to check out the website. But nonetheless, okay, so that makes sense. So at first I was like, is this ceramic? But it's not. So you do have a plated coating here on all your other links. This black, you have a white face, and a couple of your logos. I'll show you more of this in a second here. So back to the specs here. All right, so they say plating 18 karat gold. I'm not sure what part of that is on this particular one. That might be a typo, but I think that's just a typo in this one here because there is no gold in this watch. It does have a sapphire coated hardened mineral crystal, water resistance of 5 ATMs, a lithium battery. It is powered by a Swiss-made Ronda caliber 1069, two-hand quartz movement with small second hand with 1 jewel. Now, naturally, in order to be classified as Swiss-made, this is actually Swiss movement. So, anytime at least a company lists the fact that it has a movement, and that Ronda movement is used in lots of watches that are, I would say, in your kind of more your, not entry level, but midline. You don't get like the best, like you're not getting a Valjoux, you're not getting an automatic Seiko NH35, which really, they should have put that in here, for the price point. But still, at least you're getting a Swiss-made Ronda movement. And anytime you get a Ronda movement in a quartz watch, it's worth mentioning. They're reliable and they work. And so that's about the specs on this watch. Warranty on this particular one here is full warranty of manufacturer defects for a period of 2 years after purchase. Alright, so that's about all they have on the website. This one will run you $440. So let's talk about what I think about the watch. Now, when I first saw 46mm case, you guys know that, I usually rock, most watches that I rock most of the time, 50 and up. Now, it doesn't mean I don't wear the smaller ones, 47, but 47 is always going to be more your smaller watch. For instance, I happen to have one of the new ones I'm going to review in a second here. This one I actually bought. This is a Tachmeister, a German dive watch. Very unique. I've been eyeballing it for a while, and they're getting harder to find. The price was right, so I picked it up, and I'll share this with you guys at a later date. But that's a 47mm watch. And when I wear that, I'm like, all right, well, it's pretty small, but the lugs on this, big Canon style lugs, would make it big, right? So 47 is kind of like your grand divers, and 47 really, guys, is not a small watch, but 46 I was like, okay, well, it's not huge. But what I like about Rockwell is that, and what I think really makes them unique, is the fact they put so much size into the band. And there's not a lot of watch companies that make a band that's 32mm. This is like a big, chunky, masculine, tough bracelet. It's chunky, it's beefy, and it's awesome. And I think the only other watch I have, even my Invictas that are gigantic, don't have a 32mm width band. That's huge. And you're hard pressed to find watches with a band that thick. And that's what I think really sets them apart. And that's what I love most of all about their designs. Big, thick, chunky band. The band is what really makes this watch. Very minimalistic face. You don't have any numbers. You just have a marker at the 12, 6, and what is that? The 3 and the 9 position. God, I hope I'm right on that. Yeah, the 3 and the 9 position. Like I said, very minimalistic face. You have a standard pull-out crown. It's non-screw down, but it's just the way the band is designed and how big and chunky it is. It just looks awesome. It has a great wrist presence. And I gotta tell you, the only other watch that I have in my collection that has a band that's comparable with this is one of the older Mark Echoes that I have, where it's got that big, thick band. And when you wear it, you feel like you're wearing something very substantial, even though the watch itself isn't really all that large, but really, this is a tank, guys. This is a big, chunky watch. When they talk about that continuum band, I love the fact that it has a butterfly clasp. So when you buckle this, what that means is when you buckle this together, and it's dual locking, it looks like one continuous bracelet. As opposed to something like, just for demonstration purposes, this one here, you can see you actually have a clasp. I mean, you can see it's visible. That's how that one works. That's how a lot of watches work. But I love bracelet style clasps like this because you just have that smoothness all the way around the whole wrist. That whole design goes all the way around. And this is a very solid clasp. This is done very well. Nice strong springs on this here. And it's all naturally 316 stainless steel. They took time in producing this watch. I mean, it is a fantastic piece. What else about the watch? Let's go with case thickness, because I didn't mention that on the website. And let me get my digital ruler here. My caliper, as you will. We're looking at, from case back to the edge of the bezel, about 13 millimeters in case thickness. So still 13, it sits up on the wrist. It's not super big. It's not like your 19, 23 millimeter Invictus, but it's sleek and it is just chunky. I love on the back too, they have their name, Rockwell, the name of the watch in cursive, dual time, and squeeze, don't pull, kind of trigger lingo there. I don't know if you can see that. You might be able to see that. There you go. Let's see, the back of the watch is actually more of a brushed finish. The face of the watch is going to have your mirror polishing on all the silver links. The case is actually a mirror polished black coating. And then, of course, your bezel, all mirror polished stainless steel. White face on this particular one here. Black accents on those markers. Black accent or black mirror polished crown with the Rockwell logo. And the sides of the band, all mirror polished. And then, of course, with your black links on the inside, these are more of a brushed black plating. Now you notice only one thing with this one here is when I sized it, the way I sized it, I had to take out one extra link on the side, on one side. So you have a little more chrome or stainless steel on one side than you do the other. That's just what I had to do for my particular wrist, and I have a 7-inch wrist. But it's on the bottom and it's not really noticeable. You have just one extra link as opposed to having it go from stainless to black. It'll go stainless to stainless. So not a big deal at all. Weight on this here, I don't have a scale, but it's a heavy, chunky timepiece. I'd probably estimate and say about 12 ounces on that, but I don't have a scale on me right now. So let's go ahead and throw it on the wrist, okay? And, again, getting back to what do I think about this watch, this is an awesome timepiece. I mean, this is definitely something that they probably will sell out in all these, and hopefully something they'll keep making. One thing to note, they did put the crown on the opposite side of the watch. Traditionally, when you have a watch, or any watch that you wear in your left hand, the crown is on the right side of the watch. With this, they put it on the left, probably just to make it more comfortable, although the crown is very small, it wasn't necessary, but that's the way they designed it. So, it just so you know that is where the crown's supposed to be. If you were to order this, pretty much, let's take a look at me just before I put my foot in my mouth here. All their watches are actually technically right-hand watches, but I wear it on the left. And, I adjust the time I watch. And most of the time I pull the crown on all my watches just to save the battery. But I do like the fact that it's on the opposite side because it's just different than anything else I have. All right, so let's check it out on the wrist. Now, I could actually probably do another link, but it'd be a little bit tight. There are no micro adjustments on this, so you're not going to get that 100% perfect fit you might get with a watch that has smaller links and micro adjustments. But to me, this is sized perfectly for me. Again, 7-inch wrist. If you had a 7.5-inch wrist, you'd probably just throw in another link. It'd probably still fit you fine. You still have a little more wiggle room. If you have a smaller wrist, this is worth mentioning though. If you have a smaller wrist on mine, I've removed every link on one side, and I have one more black link I can remove on the opposite side here. Is that right? Yeah, so you can get an extra, I'd probably say close to almost half an inch of downsize on this here. As far as upsizing it, the links they gave me here, it doesn't say what it'll actually fit, but let's take a look here. What did I remove? Oh, actually, you know what? I only removed one link. That's surprising. I forgot I did that. So one link. Now, I'm not sure if the one they sent me might have been resized. I kind of had the feeling maybe this one maybe was a display model that had been sized, because most of the time when I receive watches, I have to remove way more than one link. So, but with that being said, I will get clarification on that. If you're interested, drop me a comment and I'll go ahead and find out how many links they actually come with. Because if you were a big guy and you wanted to get this, anything over a 7.5-inch wrist, I would say, would probably not fit you. But I'll get clarification on that as well, because that was a little bit surprising. But for me, again, with what I got, one link, which is what made me think maybe this was something that maybe they had on display, maybe somebody was wearing. But the thing is, I don't show any signs that it was worn, so not really sure on that. And I don't know if other links are available. So let's do a couple close-up shots here before I throw it on the wrist here, just so you can get a nice clear shot of this here. Real flashy watch, guys. And I think, you know, of the ones they have in this particular model, I really like the one they sent me. I mean, it's just, I wore this to work today, and several of my coworkers were like, damn, that thing is nice. All right, throw it on the wrist, guys. 7-inch wrist is what I have. About 170 pounds. I got to get down a little bit. 170 pounds, 5 foot 7.5. And again, that 7-inch wrist, so all these watches will always look really big on me. Now look at that wrist presence. I mean, that thing is just awesome. And if you want to compare it to, you know, a standard size band, your 22mm band right here, you can see, I mean, what a difference in the size of that band. I mean, it just blows away, you know, your 22mm size. And 22mm is kind of your common size width on most watches. 32. And that's what really, you know, if I want, you know, I like to give a company some advice sometimes too, if they come out with new models. And if they are thinking about creating new models, I definitely encourage that theme, because that's really something hard to find. And for guys who like big watches, sometimes a guy will be like, all right, it's not a 50, you know, we're not going to get it. But you can, if you have a watch like this, that they basically make this watch all band, that's really going to set this apart and really put it in a category all to its own. There are not many watches out there that are made with a band this thick, and this is the real selling point to this watch. That big, thick, if I didn't say it enough, 30. Look at it from this distance, just a tank on the wrist. Absolutely stunning. Big, chunky, and masculine. Oh, I like it. I love it. Probably gonna wear it again today. All right, folks, that was my initial review of the Rockwell Deul Time. Definitely check it out. Sweet watch, and I definitely encourage you to pick one up. $440 gets it to you. I'm not sure if that includes shipping or not, but who cares, right? It's awesome. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Rockwell, thank you very much for your generosity. Stay tuned for more, guys. Subscribe, click like, and click the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video. All right, folks, take care.